Hi, everybody, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me to learn a little bit more about the Counselor Education and Supervision online program. Many of you know me, but I'm Dr. Lori Ann Stretch, and I'm the Department Chair for the Clinical Mental Health Counseling Program. We're about to become Counselor Education Program because we are adding a PhD in fall 2020. And today I'd like to just tell you a little bit about that program so that you can answer questions of prospective applicants and students. So let's take a look at the PowerPoint. It'll move forward. There we go. So some key program elements. It will be a postmaster's program of 60 credits with a strong emphasis on telehealth, telesupervision, and tele-assisted counselor education. It's going to have 5 domains: counseling, supervision, teaching, research, and leadership and advocacy. And these are grounded in the CACREP doctoral standards. There will be a requirement for 2 in-person residencies that will be about 6 days long and will align with our master's residencies. There are 2 tracks, a 2-year track or a 3-year track, and I'll tell you more about those in a little bit. And people who complete this program will be able to find employment as clinical administrators, counselor educators, clinical supervisors, and even telehealth coordinators. Now, who should apply? Well, master's level practitioners who are interested in teaching, advancing their counseling skills, supervising, and becoming leaders in the field. Internally, some programs that would be good feeder programs are the MA in CMHC, of course, the MA in Counseling Psychology, the MA in Forensic Psychology, and the MA in Marriage and Family Therapy. The curriculum is very much like the CES program in Chicago, except it does have the emphasis on telebehavioral health. So you'll see that students are required to take CE 554, which is telebehavioral approaches in counseling and supervision. So all of the students in this program will take that. And then throughout the program, throughout their courses, there's going to be an emphasis on telehealth and tele-assisted delivery. So pretty much every class is going to have something in there about technology and how to use technology in that particular domain. And they also have 2 electives that they can take. And you can see that in addition to the electives that are available in Chicago, we've also added the Advanced Teledelivery and Counselor Education and Supervision and the Advanced Crisis and Trauma. Another elective that students will be encouraged to consider and strongly urged to take will be Study Abroad, because we want them to be very well trained in multicultural domains. Just some fees to consider as you're talking to students. All students will incur a one-time fee of $195 to be enrolled into Vera, which is our advising, assessment, and fieldwork platform. And then there's also a $70 per term charge for technology that covers our Zoom licenses and a lot of other really cool technology that we're going to be embedding in this program. Now let's talk a little bit about residencies. So for the doctoral students, Residency 1 will occur during their CE 589 teaching and learning in counselor education. And students will serve as a teaching assistant in the online and on-ground portion of CEM 528, helping relationships and skills development. That's our techniques class at the master's level. So the students that are TAing will be involved in that course throughout that term. And then Res 2 will occur during CE 550, Advanced Group Counseling, and students will serve as a TA in the online on-ground portion. Really exciting part about that particular class is they're going to be able to oversee the group processes that our master students go through. The master students have to have a 10-hour group process. So it's a really powerful tool, and these students will also be able to help with a lot of the group activities that are happening at residency. One of the things that I'm really proud of with this program is that we're really emphasizing that students have the experiences of a counselor educator throughout their experience with us, and residency is one place where that will be happening. So students aren't going to just be teaching, they're also going to be engaging in the administration, the development of, and gatekeeping experiences as well. There is a $350 lab fee for each residency, and that covers the cost of materials and food and activities and transportation when applicable, because we do service learning during residency, and students will be responsible for covering their own airfare and lodging. There is a practicum in the program, and that does require 100 hours of advanced counseling experience. And this must be qualitatively new experience for the students. They can't keep doing what they've always done. They have to find a new population, a new presenting issue, a new modality. There has to be something that they're engaging in that's expanding their counseling knowledge. And they can also, or we strongly will encourage them to have at least 50% of this experience be in telehealth. Since that's an emphasis of our program. They will be responsible for finding their own practicum sites, but not without support. We have a wonderful database of information in Tavera to help people find sites. And we also have our very own virtual clinical training center where there may be some placements available in that as well. Students are allowed to earn income during their practicum process. For internship, this will entail 600 hours of internship experience across 6 100-hour internships. 100-hour minimum for each of the following domains is required: teaching, supervision, leadership, and advocacy. So that teaching is beyond what they've done in residency. So this is an addition to, because we want to help our students really build up a robust CV to show that they have a lot of different experiences. And same thing for supervision. They'll be able to work in our fieldwork courses potentially where they'll be able to engage in supervision. So we will have some internal placements for internship available to students as well. The additional 300 hours can be any combination of at least 2 of the KCREP domains: counseling, so students may continue their practicum, for example; supervision, maybe they are near a university and can get a supervision experience, or maybe there's a clinical placement they can do supervision, or maybe they can do it at the VCTC. Teaching, and again, that can be internally or external to Chicago School. And then leadership and advocacy. And in internship, 50% of the delivery of this, so 300 hours, must be delivered through telehealth or teledelivery. Now, and students can also earn money for their engagement during internship. We have 2 tracks. We have our 2-year track, which you can see is outlined here. And this would encourage students to double up at pretty much all terms and triple up on 3 terms. And this would be for students who maybe aren't working full-time and really want to invest and pour themselves into their doctoral experience. This is going to require a tremendous amount of time. I mean, this is going to be about anywhere from 30 to 40 hours a week expectation if they're taking this track. So students need to really think through if they have the time and the ability to do this. I would also say that this track would probably be better aligned with students who've had some online experience with education. Our 3-year track is spread out a little bit more, and in this track you can anticipate having anywhere from 20 to 25 hours a week of work. And we really want to encourage students who maybe are trying to do this program and work full-time to maybe consider the 3-year track. And it is possible to spread it out to 4 or 5 years if they want to do a part-time enrollment as they move through the program. Some admission requirements to consider. We will give primary consideration to master's degree graduates of KCREP accredited institutions who currently hold a professional counselor license or are license eligible as an associate license, or who may have an equivalent. The issue with the equivalent license or not having a KCREP accredited is KCREP requires a certain amount of coursework be done prior to the PhD, and we'll talk about that on the next slide. So we really do want students, or applicants and prospective students, to have at least 1 to 2 years of counseling experience. This particular PhD is training them to supervise, do advanced counseling and teaching. So they need to have some experience under their belt before they're eligible. So we really are not wanting to have students come straight out of a master's program into this program. That would be discouraged. We need them to have at least a year or 2 of experience and have some of that licensure or supervision under their belt before they join this or apply to this program. We are going to look at their overall ability to do graduate work. They must demonstrate successful completion of the following master's level core courses to be considered for admissions. These are the 8 domains, or a little bit more than actually 8. These are domains that are aligned with KCREP. So counseling theories, human growth and development, counseling and helping skills, legal, ethical, professional issues, career counseling, group counseling, multicultural research, and then assessment, appraisal, and diagnosis. So we must see coursework that's been successfully completed at a B or higher in all of these courses, or B- or higher. And this is a K-CREP requirement that these coursework be done. Students who may be missing 2 or less domains may be eligible to be admitted but have a progression requirement to complete that, and they would need to complete that as soon as possible, and they would need to earn a B-. They can either take it at the Chicago school or at another regionally accredited, ideally K-CREP accredited program. The application process will consist of the following components. Students will be asked to give a resume, CV, transcripts from all graduate programs that have been attended, 2 written essays, and 3 letters of recommendation that must be from a current employer or supervisor and or former faculty members. We will not accept letters of recommendations from any other person. They must show that they have the ability to work in what's happening and show their aptitude for doctoral level work. And then there will be an interview that will consist of the following components. There will be an oral interview, and then a proctored written response where they will be asked to write a response to a prompt, and they will have 30 minutes to do so. And then there will be a question and answer session where students can ask the faculty member who's interviewing them questions about the program. Now, if you have questions about the CES program, I encourage you to reach out to one of us. This is the leadership team for the CES development. We have a lot of other people involved as well, but these are probably your 4 best contacts to get information about the program. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out, and we look forward to seeing what wonderful students you send our way.